Today we're going to be learning about poetry and we're going to be focusing on alliteration. So what is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of consonants at the beginning of words in writing. An example of this would be the sentence, Johnny jumped with joy. Johnny, jumped, and joy all start with the J sound. So why would an author use alliteration in poetry? There are many different reasons, and it really just depends on what the author decides. Some of these might be to create rhythm, to emphasize specific words, to grab the reader's attention, to make something stand out, or even just to be funny. So here's an example that you might be familiar with from when you were much younger, and it's the Peter Piper poem. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Now that's kind of an extreme example because the author made sure to include the p sound at the beginning of almost every single word. So let's go on to another example it still contains alliteration, it's just not as extreme as the Peter Piper example. So this poem is called Rain. Rain races onto the porch, hitting hard like rockets rushing in a race to the glass. Rattling rain, rattling the window panes, the droplets dance daintily until they cleverly connect in a pool of promise for a rainbow. Okay, so let's find the alliteration in that poem. In the first line, rain and races are a form of alliteration because they both start with the sound. Then in the second line, hitting and hard. Then rockets, rushing, and race. And in the fourth line, rattling, rain, rattling. Then droplets dance daintily. And then in the second to last line, cleverly connect. And in the last line, pool and promise. Okay, so these, obviously the alliteration doesn't occur as frequently, but it is still there, and this is just as much alliteration as the previous poem was. So now I want you to go ahead and write your own poem with alliteration. And it could be something where it's filled with alliteration like Peter Piper, or it could be more like the rain example where it just comes in here and there. It's up to you. You're the author.